Yeah. All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Green White Checkered TV. And before you change the channel, unfortunately, no, it's not Boomer tonight, so I'm having to hold down the floor for him. So apologies to all the Boomer Logan fans. He will be back in the booth here soon, but he's got some real race car stuff to be working on. So wanted to let him get some more attention on that. Say hopefully you're getting those turn signals working, Boomer. Say definitely, I know you're going to need those with your racing series. So, but yeah, all seriousness, hope you are all doing well. And I'm gonna wait a second because I gotta wait for all the chat people to start popping in here shortly because I've got some insider info that I'll be sharing soon. However, last week it was that number 5 of Rick Sanchez getting the win at Daytona, which of course puts him atop the points there by 5 over Kevin Freeze. 6 is back as Gabe Butler, and obviously from there everybody else back 1 more point. So Andrew Schroeder, Bob Fitzgerald are top 5 in the points going into tonight. And again, this is a shorter season here on the Thursday nights because we've got a couple of holidays in the middle of it. We will not be racing on Halloween, and of course we will not be racing on Thanksgiving. So it will be a 10 race season, 8 regular season races, and then a 2 race playoff. So it's going to be a very quick and succinct session and championship for that one. So, but again, thank you all for joining us, for supporting us here at Green White Checker TV. Matt should be popping on here in just a moment. He literally just walked in and hopped online and it's like, all right, let's go do this. So as always, definitely appreciate Matt's dedication. Because again, I mean, literally getting home from work at about 8:30 his time and then coming straight to it. So big thank you to Matt for all the dedication he's shown in the league. Like I said, on the broadcasting side, on the admin side, the racing, he's a man that does it all. Looks like we'll have just about 18 vehicles on track, or sorry, just under 20, I should say, on track here tonight. So again, we'll wait for just a few more, another minute or two before we get to that starting grid. Right now we've got, looks like 2 drivers still on track, might be just back down to 1. However, what I can tell you, fuel mileage right around the 20 lap mark. So it will be a 3-stop strategy for fuel on the race no matter what. As always, 1 fast repair available to the drivers and 3 green-white checkered attempts. Been talking to the drivers a little bit. It sounds like it is going to be a handful tonight. These cars are not very happy with this track, so they're going to be driving and racing hard. Honestly, probably just trying to hang on to these things, it sounds like. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to see what we have in store for us tonight. And it looks like qualifying has just completed. So once we get a couple cars on that grid, we will go ahead and hop on and we will take a look at our starting grid for tonight's event. And with that, we've got our front row here. It will be Gabe Butler in the 88 machine, one of our podium finishers last week, on pole tonight. Next to him is Tom Dixon, a great lap there, only 1300s back, 13,000s, I'm sorry, back. Rick Sanchez under 3,000s back of that. Then you got Austin Call and 4th, Dean Wilkinson, our top 5. And number 6 car in 6th position is Bud Steele, Anthony English, Jack Walls, Dustin Logston, Nick Wing, our top 10. Then we got Carl Lingle in 11th. And then one of those drivers, we saw him in the YouTube chat recently. That's Ed DeBoer. He wanted to reach out and get in here. So he is here tonight in the number 12 and starting 12th. So we've got 2 drivers matching their car numbers right where they start here tonight. Then continuing down the order there, you've got Kevin Freeze, Eric Laurie, Jim Brooks, Jimmy Reynolds, Andrew Schroeder, Bob Fitzgerald, and Adam Kilday. And if we could have got Jimmy and Andrew to swap, we would have had 3 cars matching their car numbers for their starting positions. But 2 is still pretty impressive, I got to say. So right now, just waiting for, I believe, 1 more car to grid. And as you can also see, it's on the intro, and you also see it here at the moment. Still wanting to give some attention to the National Kidney Foundation. So still trying to get some help and get some attention over to Dixon. Like I said, looking for a donor for a donor match. So again, every little bit helps. So again, yeah, giving those guys all of our love. And I don't think he's on track here tonight, but Caitlin, Ryan, love you guys, and definitely thinking of you. As pace car just starting to roll off of the field here to get our warm-up lap underway. So again, this track, I'll try to pull up the speeds at some point tonight, but I was watching the practice. They were hitting over 230, I think 235, and that was just in a 2-car draft. So it'll be interesting to see, do these cars get up into the 240s and maybe touching 250? That'd be, to me, kind of terrifying if so, but we'll keep a look and we'll watch to see. But right now, all these guys, again, just trying to get gridded up here. So we got a couple cars a little bit staggered back there, but they're going to catch back up here, and we will get underway here in just a moment. And again, I want to thank you all for joining and supporting us here on Green White Checker TV for the Area 51 Superspeedway Xfinity League here on Thursday nights. And again, if you're interested in racing on Sunday nights, Thursday nights, or coming in 2025 back on Tuesday nights with the Dallara DIR18s, you can check them out at area51iracing.com. And I'll say you'll have all the info you need there to be able to register and get racing with us. All right, so coming out of turn number 4, we're going to see the pace car make that sharp left. Again, a very difficult left for pit entry for these guys. If we get those green flag scheduled stops, again, about 20 laps is the window. But again, we're going to be handing it over to Gabe Butler, our pole sitter for tonight, as he's going to approach that restart zone. It's a fair ways down the front stretch. Green flag is out, and we are down and away. 75 laps our scheduled distance as they hit turn number 1 for the first time. Great start for the top 2. Gabe's got just a nose ahead over that number 5, Rick Sanchez. Rick's going to peek out. He's got help from Dean Wilkinson. And I'm saying again, we'll wait till we see some action in the chat, because you can see the balloons and there's a name on there, and I think a lot of us can put 2 and 2 together. But so we got to wait till we know they're watching, they're listening here. But it's going to be Rick here leading the field into 3. But Gabe's not going to let it sit here. He's going to jump up top. He's got help from that 44 of Anthony English, one of the new names, new faces to the series, but not new to the super speedway side of things. And he's going to help easily push that number 88 back to the front. But Steele's going to peek to the top there on the outside in that number 6 car. He gets big loose, and he's going to go up and around. Oh, Austin Call involved as well. Bunch of cars here. Huge wrecks further back as well. And unfortunately, we've got a number of guys up and over there. You see Bud still flipping, Austin also on his wheels, but after flipping. And then, yeah, Ed DeBoer, unfortunately, damage, and Carl Lingle involved, Andrew Schroeder. And I believe there may have been 1 or 2 other cars there. We'll have to go back up and check. And, yeah, there's one right there, Bob Fitzgerald. Eric Laurie, a little bit of damage. And we talked about these cars were going to be a handful, and, man, that was big hits right off the bat. Let's take a look and see how this all unfolded, because again, it was a bunch of cars in one shot here. So we're going to back it up, and I think it was multiple cars in the same time. So let me go a little further back. Apologies, jumped a little bit too far forward there. And yeah, when you look at this right in the same shot here. We'll initially start here with Carl Lingle. Try to get a wider shot. Here we go. This will be a better angle. So we're watching the 30 on the inside right behind the 5, and you're going to see his car already start to step out. And then if you look right at the exact same time, the number 6 of Bud Steele, same exact thing. His car just kind of snaps to the right or to the left, I'm sorry, as well. Both these guys get extremely loose, and unfortunately, you see Jack Walls gets a little piece, but then this is where the 30 starts to go up and around. And then a little further back, unfortunately, I'll say these guys just, there's not much they can do. You can see the 12 in there, the 08s also. Actually, I wonder if the 08 may have got separately loose as well, or if that's in response. Yeah, I think he just gets loose as well. So, yeah, it looks like it's going to be a handful here tonight, unfortunately, at iRacing Superspeedway. And I say, yeah, I mean, look at the height Austin Call got there. And there's the 08 car getting loose as well. And we'll go a little bit further forward. No, there's the damage further up there for the 071 of Eric Laurie. Also catching up the 48. So, or sorry, the 048. Let's go back and we'll take another look here, and we'll focus here on Andrew Schroeder. And Jim Brooks just sneaks underneath there, catches the 48, and unfortunately that then ricochets up into the 071. Does Tom Dixon get through this? Oh my goodness. We're going to go back there's Adam Kilday. He's going to loop it around here as well. So, man, that's a really, really, really tough turn one. Just getting everybody back up to speed. But I'm going to go once more here. We're going to hop on board with that 411 of Tom Dixon, because at speed, this is going to look terrifying. You see, he got loose on entry too. Oh my goodness. Actually, maybe got a little piece, but right there just sneaks right in the middle. So actually possibly some damage as well for him. But we'll jump back live here because unfortunately, again, a lot of pit stops happening for these guys involved in it. And so really, I think about 9 cars got through all of this unscathed, unfortunately. And after the pit stop cycles, it looks like it will be that 5 of Rick Sanchez. And on cue, I heard a rumor. Somebody's got there's a certain birthday person in our YouTube chat here tonight. And that is Rick Sanchez's wife, Netsby. And really? So happy birthday to you. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. Hopefully Rick can pull off a win. Matt and I definitely will not sing because we want to keep you on the broadcast. And then also, Matt, another fun thing as well. Saturday will be their 41st anniversary. So very, very cool. And 41 years is super impressive. So definitely congrats. Obviously, happy birthday. And then also a very, very happy anniversary to the both of you as well. Unfortunately, one driver not having a good birthday present early on here, Matt. That's going to be the 6 car of Bud Steele. Also his birthday this evening, but I say he had to take a tow after his huge hit. Looks like he's just about to roll out of pit road here. Oh, it's going to be tight, though. I don't think he's going to beat the pace car off. No, he's not. He's going to get trapped another lap down here. So I think that might drop him to 2. And unfortunately, I think we might have an early retirement with Austin Call in the 64. And I just noticed that my timing scoring has playoff drivers, so I'm going to fix that real quick. There we go. Now everything looks like it's supposed to be because it's not playoff time yet, Matt. We don't want to have that on there too soon. But yeah, so no, yeah, you're very welcome. I hope you are having an enjoyable birthday. And yeah, hopefully Rick will be able to get a good result here tonight. But Matt, while you're getting settled in and everything, coming back from work, it all kicked off. We talked about it being a challenging car setup combo here tonight. And I mean, there was 2, if not 3 cars, pretty much the full speed lap going in turn 1. They all just stepped out on them. And unfortunately, we've got a number of cars now. Andrew Schroeder trapped 1 down, Carl Lingle 1 down, Bud Steele unfortunately trapped 2 down after his tow. So yeah, unfortunately, tough start to the race for a handful of these guys, and also a number of drivers with some damage. So Adam Kilday had about a minute 20 pit stop. Jimmy Reynolds as well, about a minute 20. And then I have a feeling a lot of those guys had to take fast repairs as well. So we're going to rack them back up here. Going to restart this thing lap number 6 at the line. And again, we still got a lot of time to go. Everybody's getting themselves in the correct order here as we get back to green. And it will be that number 5, Rick Sanchez, leading the way, Matt, back to green here, starting lap number 6. But again, I think this might, has a look right now, it might need to be a bit of a survival race here as we get back underway. Oh, a big kind of, I don't know what happened here in the initial start, but we got a bunch of cars that got separated here. So, Matt, we got a big breakaway right now. We got the top 6 all together. Actually, top 7, I'm sorry. Apologies to Nick Wing there. But then they got to drop all the way about a second and a half here to Bob Fitzgerald, who's got now Dustin Loxton giving him some big pushes. I wonder if some of these guys might have some lingering damage maybe they're not aware of, or they're backing down the pace just due to the fear of how loose they got in those incidents in turn 1 on lap 2.
I heard from your pops in the chat, he missed the shift.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it. So, but we'll see. Right now I'm watching the timing and scoring. Everything's going the right way. They're starting to close that gap back up. So here's the scary part, though, Matt. Back into turn number 1 at full song. So far, so good. Looks like everybody... Nope, as I said, it's not so far so good. Oh, Dustin Logston there involved, as is Bob Fitzgerald. That might be night over for, I think, possibly Bob. I think he already had to take that fast repair. Dustin, if he has one left, he's going to have to take one. So we'll go back here. We'll take another look at this one. And not sure if it was due to getting loose or if there was a mistake happening here. So we'll get a better shot of as Dustin's right behind Bob here as they enter turn number 1. And we'll watch the 08. Yeah, it just gets loose, tries to catch it. And what you're going to see right now is he's going to try to grab it, and then it's going to hook straight back to the right. Unfortunately, catches the 81 back in the right rear. And unfortunately, pretty solid shots for the two of them, especially you see Dustin there. Catches the outside wall pretty heavily. And then, yeah, so unfortunately, that's going to bring us back to caution number 2. Oh, and actually some close contact there with Andrew Schroeder, Bud Steele, and Tom Dixon. And that actually may play a role in who gets the wave arounds here, Matt, because I think that's going to probably be not an incident, but like a 0x for some of those guys. So we'll have to wait and see, because that might be a big benefit to Carl Lingle potentially. He might be the one actually to benefit and jump back onto the lead lap from all that. So we'll have to wait and see. Pace car is still catching up. So we got a little bit of break, so we're going to step away here before we get to the 1 to go, and we'll pull up one of our ads. And I think that is going to be from our Sensi sponsorship with Ryan and Caitlin. So be right back. Stay tuned.
At Sensi, we love fragrance, how it makes us feel, how it connects us to our deepest memories, how sharing those memories connects us with each other.
And as it turns out, there's a lot of people who feel the same way and share Sensi's core values of simplicity, authenticity, and generosity. Our beautiful campus in Meridian, Idaho welcomes employees, consultants, and the community year-round.
That's why we've grown from selling just warmers and wax to selling a complete line of products, so you can fill your life with fragrance no matter where your day takes you.
Whether it's fun partnerships with beloved brands, innovative, high-performing cleaning products, laundry care that smells as good as it works, or personal care products to create your signature scent, Sensi products are made to share.
Maybe that's why our culture has always felt like family. We call it Sensi Spirit. It's a feeling of love, acceptance, generosity, and community that we share freely with everyone we meet. And we welcome you to experience it yourself. Like it? Buy the product. Love it? Host a get-together with your friends. Want more? Start your own Sensi business. You can earn amazing trips around the world and rewards. You can work your business whenever and wherever you want, giving you more time for the things and people that matter most. Ask your Sensi consultant for more info.
All right.
All right, heading on the front stretch here. Gonna get the one to go this time. We've got a little bit of strategy here, which I think is a great call here. I don't think anybody did officially get the wave around under that caution. I think maybe they all had slight involvements in it. But what you're gonna see is right here, the 30 is gonna go, the 48 is gonna go, and that's gonna put both of them back onto the lead lap because they were just the one lap down. Adam Kilday just rolled off of pit road after some lengthy repairs to his car. So he's still on the lead lap as well. So I believe that will now just leave Bud Steele and Bob Fitzgerald laps down. Right now, Bud's on pit road, I think, just getting a little extra service to his car. Bob's trying to get some more damage to his car repaired again. I think he may have already had to use his fast repair. And unfortunately for poor Bob, I mean, his hood was flopped up and he was trying to get to pit road and he couldn't even see where he was going. So wasn't a good time for Bob there, but yeah, so now we're going to restart this thing again here in just a moment, back to lap number 11, and it's going to be Anthony English taking over the point of this race. And I mean, at this point, you know this track is going to be biting pretty aggressively. I mean, what do you do? Because you know that the combo with the new build and these cars in this track, just it's not agreeing. So what can you do behind the wheel to make the necessary adjustments to, I mean, honestly, at this point, I think just to try to survive?
Basically, survival. I'm looking at throttle control. I'm mostly looking at steering input. Usually, if you're having a little bit of looseness conditions, usually it's a small little twitch of the steering wheel. Either that, or you can try a different line and use the draft to come the straightaways, and just go up a little bit higher in the turns. Just stay away from the wake, and you can use the draft coming on the straightaways. Like I said, these straightaways are pretty long. As we are getting ready to go green here, I'm hoping these drivers will make the necessary adjustments.
Yeah, that's the thing, is it's just going to be one of those things they got to kind of adjust as they go. But yeah, like I said, Anthony English leading them back to green here. Dean Wilkinson's going to be his pusher. Tom Dixon up to fourth there, going to be pushing the 83 of Jack Walls. And I think what we're going to see, too, is probably a little bit of some drivers maybe trying to back it down a little bit and just play it extra safe, where maybe they say, you know what, I don't even want to be near the front here. I just want to ride a little bit further back, maybe even just be a little bit off the draft just in case. And I'm saying off the bat, some of the ones that stand out to me are Eric Lorry's a fair bit back, as is Kevin Freeze. So we'll see. But again, really, it doesn't seem to really show Matt until basically they get fully up to song entering turn number 1. So I said usually let's say knock on wood, of course, they've been okay here through 3 and 4, but it seems the issue is right here once they get out of turn 4 and then they build up the head of steam here into turn number 1 once more, which again, to give you some info here, so right now Anthony English there is 235 miles an hour. And again, these guys probably aren't tacking it out as hard as they could, almost 240 here on entry. So we'll see. Hopefully things go smoother this time around. Again, probably some adjustments being made. And so far, knock on wood, Matt, this one did seem to go a little better for all these guys. And yeah, it looks like everybody's still moving forward. So yeah, I think adjustments have been made, and now it's just to see. Again, eventually someone's going to start to make some changes to that. Okay, what now can I get away with? Can I go a little harder in certain places?
Yeah, it's right now I'm watching these guys. I'm watching some of their in-cars. A little bit of lifting involved. I am watching, and probably a little bit less steering input, as I said before. That's what's being applied here. So I'm glad these drivers are quick on the adjustments, and I'm sure they'll do just fine for the rest of the race.
And so now the question mark, Matt, as always, it's a fun one to discuss, is fuel mileage. Everybody pitted. Actually, you know what? No, there should be no fuel mileage questions. I'm showing everybody pitting on lap number 8 if my timing and scoring is correct, which I feel like they pitted after that. But again, about 20-ish laps on fuel. So based on those numbers, obviously the final stop needs to be around lap 55 or maybe a teeny bit later. And that brings you to lap 35. We're on lap 14 now. So based on those numbers, I think it's still going to be a 3-stop race. One of those stops probably almost be a splash of fuel, if you will. But so we'll have to wait and see. But right now, I mean, for Anthony English, I mean, he's just got a bumper full of Dean Wilkinson here. But I mean, you can see everybody's really kind of settled in here. The only two that are trying to make some move now are the 25 of Kevin Freeze, the 81 there of Dustin Logston. They're locked on together. And this will be another one that's interesting to see is I know with the 87 cars we've seen before with that series at Talladega, for instance, when you're locked onto the rear bumper, that car that's leading, when someone's right on your rear bumper entering a turn, you get extremely loose. So will Dustin being tagged onto the back of Kevin like he is, could Kevin possibly get loose on entry? Or like I said, is it just more of an input situation and maybe it's something like that that's kind of affecting these guys? So we'll jump just a teeny bit back behind it. We're going to hop on with Nick Wing here as I want to watch his steering inputs, Matt, because like you said, see how smooth he's doing, or is he having to kind of move it around a little bit? Also up front, see a little bit of movement there. Saw just the tiniest of bobbles there from the 411 Tom Dixon. Again, I think that's just more of the track, if anything, there. But yeah, so these guys, they decided, all right, we've been sitting around enough. We feel a little more comfortable. Let's get back after it here. And so yeah, you got Gabe Butler. He's got good help from the 5 Rick Sanchez. 25 Kevin Freeze is on his way. It was Gabe had a little bobble there, and Rick had to check up just a tiny bit there not to get into the left rear of Gabe. Great heads up by the two of them. And then saying even in a perfect driving setup, those little things are going to happen. And what I haven't had a chance to mention, Matt, in all of this is these cars still don't bump very well. You bump depending on how you hit them.
No, they don't.
they kind of move a little bit. So
yeah,
when you're bumping at 230, that's going to be eventful. These guys are going to have to do the same thing, be very on top of when and where to make these bumps happen.
I see these guys are getting more and more confident in their driving right now. I think they made the necessary adjustments. They know what to expect, and you see that they turned from single file into a double file. I think these drivers are getting a little bit antsy. They just kind of really figured it out now.
Yeah, and I was saying 4 of the top 5 drivers that last lap ran their fastest lap of the race. So yeah, and you saw it right there though. Jimmy Reynolds just had a little bobble down the backstretch. I think he caught a little bump from the 88, and that bump just sent him a little off-centered. And that's what we talk about, the risk versus reward of the bump drafting, is sometimes that bump doesn't quite make the car kind of go where you want it to. And also here in the front stretch, Matt, it's not like you're on a flat straightaway here. These straightaways are very, very banked. So it could very well move that car down a lane even just from the bump, just due to the banking on the track as well. Gabe was able to clear the 17.
Ooh, little bobble by Jim back there. I think he's got it. Yeah, he's got it.
Oh, yeah, you're right there. He's kind of in middle 3 for a second. But, yeah, he's able to recover. He'll slot him behind Carl Lingle. But I noticed there was right there Anthony English gives Gabe a push. Gabe gets a little loose. But I noticed right there Gabe was able to push Jimmy Reynolds clear. But Jimmy said, I still want to stay in the middle lane. So Gabe said, all right, well, I'm going to go and jump to the bottom in front of Anthony here. Gabe's got a great push from Anthony now, so he's going to go ahead and, for the moment, take the point. As I say, that momentum is kind of going between the two of them. But again, you can see from the rear view of Gabe here, you can watch the steering input of Anthony English, and just little adjustments here and there, just trying to keep the wheels tight as he can. And and the other thing, again, with all this that's been going on, we've never mentioned, the entry to turn 1, turn 3, if you're that second, third car in line, it's very easy to miss the entry, catch the apron. And so that's, right there. Look at that big jump there by
Rick
17.
Rick is trying to push the 17 through the front. But he's as you said before, these pushes are really, really hard to come by. As I said last week to you, every time you bump them, it's like you lift them up in the air. It's just insane.
Yeah, I'm sure it's terrifying behind the wheel, feeling it too. And I know, and that's like I said, they're still learning the ins and outs. I mean, there was mention too, or at one point, I think someone said they gave Gabe a really big shot. And in that situation, his car reacted fine. But when he gave him a nice little gentle bump, that's where the car then kind of unsettled. So they're still kind of learning, like, maybe one of those things like, okay, hey, I can bump him if I'm going, let's say, 2 miles an hour faster, that's good. But if it's half a mile an hour or something like that, then it upsets the car. So they'll learn when to bump, how hard to bump. It's just, yeah, there's a lot of things that are still being learned here. So right now, though, still got the whole field packed together. Right now, the only car a lap or more down is Bud Steele on track. He's still 2 down. And say right now, he's actually a little more aggressive than I thought he'd be. He's right on the back of the 12 of Ed DeBar, who right now, Matt, you were able to bring Ed in over here, and he's hopped out on track. Obviously had a tough initial start to the race, but like you said, things are starting to settle in a little bit here, and I think he's starting to get his feet wet pretty comfortably.
Yeah, it's you know what, the steering input reminds me of driving an IndyCar. Very, very small increments. Nick Winnie, you better hold on to it, buddy.
Yeah, I think that one got a little loose. He just let it chase up the track and then went back after versus trying to jump on it. But yeah, Matt, no, you're exactly right. I'll let you continue with the open wheel stuff because yeah, I think I agree with you 100% there.
So it's like very, very small movements of the steering, as we do in the IndyCar series here. So if you would put too much wheel input into it, depending on the setup, usually the car, sometimes it would over-rotate and you would be eating that concrete pretty much. And so, for some reason, since this new update, I think some of these guys are experiencing just how tedious this car can be. It, like I said, right now, I drove from practice before the race started. It drove like an IndyCar almost. It was kind of like my wheelhouse almost.
Yeah, so yeah, going 230, 240 is kind of you're used to that with the open wheel cars for
yeah.
sure. So it's like, oh yeah, I know this. But no, yeah, so we'll have to wait and see. And right now, like I said, not a lot of movement going around here. I say, actually, we got a couple on pit road, and this is scheduled here. This is Andrew Schroeder and Carl Engel. They waved around here, so they did not pit under that caution. So they did have to pit. This is a scheduled stop. So Matt, that's telling me that window's probably not too far away for the leaders because, again, they ran just a lap or two under yellow. So we might see leaders come in around this time. And, again, I'm trying to double-check my timing and scoring. I'm still showing that everybody pitted last around lap number 8. I'm starting to question if that's accurate or not because right now we're on 24. So, I mean, that would only be, 15 laps or so for the leaders. In English, I think he caught the apron there on entry, Matt, but somehow hangs on to it. And Rick's going to take no hesitation there. Said, I got an opening to the bottom. I'm going to take it. Oh, Jimmy Reynolds said, I got an opening too. I'm going to slot in there. And I saw a lot of flames coming out of exhaust pipes. I saw a lot of drivers having to lift there. And that's exactly what Kevin Freese saw. And he's like, I'll take that to the outside. He's going to have Dean as his pusher. And there goes the 30 and the 048 leaving pit road as we speak. Again, pit stops here, Matt. You will go a lap down. Oh, as we got one looping around there trying to get out of pit road. Oh, it's Andrew Schroeder. So he's going to grab a gear and try to get things back going. We will stay green, no cars around him. So iRacing will not throw the yellow for that. Just unfortunate, though, going to be more lost track position. And this is a very difficult pit exit, Matt. Because we talked about so much banking. Pit exit, pit entry, completely flat. Pretty good recovery drive thus far for Eric Laurie. I say he's moved himself up into that top 10 right behind Bud Steele. But again, still lots of time to go on this one. But again, though, he was involved in some incidents. You see Bud, he's going to jump to the top and said, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and roll out of this one here. Looks like Andrew's back in pit lane, possibly an unsafe pit exit for the 048. Yeah. Which, yeah, would make sense, unfortunately. So, but right now, actually, here comes Bud Steele as well. So I didn't expect to see Bud on pit road here. I wonder if maybe he had also stayed out and waved. But I thought he had pitted there, so we'll wait and see. But again, based on those numbers, Matt, and I think now pit window is just about to open as we're about to come to lap number 28. Again, with these guys pitting around lap 8, 9, and yeah, here you go. Everybody's getting very aggressive to the bottom. Now the question mark is, can anybody go one extra lap, or are we going to see 14 cars hit pit road here together?
I think you're going to see 14 cars hit the pit road.
I'm nervous.
Are you a betting man?
No, I'm a nervous man right now. So we'll see. Here they come. Is anybody's? Nope.
Nope.
Actually, I lied. They all look like they're gonna jump in, but we're gonna run
They all
one
looked
more.
at it.
Yeah, I think they all got a little loose off of 4, or they heard me and said, "All right, we'll make them think we're pitting." But yeah, I think you might be right here, though, Matt. And this is one of the tracks here in Atlanta. This is a track the admins do request that you call out your pit entry, because for those that maybe do want to run that extra lap, they need to know when that's happening. That way they can react accordingly. But like I said, we've got a pretty solid train here, Matt. So I think, like you said, I think we're going to see just a whole mass of guys hit pit road together, which that's always a terrifying position to be in as well.
Speaking of Atlanta, I just got to win Monday night.
Oh, another lap here going. Well, that's always exciting. With which vehicles?
The truck?
Nice.
Superspeedway Atlanta, the new one.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'll say that. I mean, I mean, honestly, both Atlantas are tough in their own rights. Obviously, the Superspeedway version now, with the way it is.
But I will say this: I will thank all these guys. With it takes experience to do it. And actually, I couldn't have thought about done it without Rick. Pretty much just bringing a call of taking tires every time you come down pit road in Atlanta.
All right, I think we're seeing pit stops.
Here we go.
Yep.
Here we go.
So we have at least one staying out, but problem is I think he's staying out by himself.
Yeah, that's going to be bad for the...
Can everybody get down to pit road speed?
Oh, Rick!
Oh, I think Kevin hung on to it there. Now it's, of course, whether or not there's any speeding penalties. But wow, yeah, Rick just caught the right rear there of Kevin, and Kevin about went for a ride. And while I love the fuel saving, Matt, it's going to feel like a parachute has been thrown on the back of the 83 car.
We have a speeding penalty.
Uh-oh.
That would be the victim of the 17 and the 411 on pit road. They both have been naughty.
Look at this, though. That 12 car in and out of pit road quick there. 8.8 seconds. That's telling me feel lonely for Ed. And Ed is down and away. Looks like Dustin Logson's going to be the second out of pit road. And now, Matt, like we said, very difficult pit exit.
Yep.
All these guys got to make sure that they don't loop it on throttle here.
You are absolutely correct. I was looking at Ed there, and I was looking at the back of Kevin Freeze. They both did not take any tires at all.
There are definitely a few, I think, 4 tire takers there. But yeah, I can say for sure the 8.8 second stop, that's definitely feel only for Ed. Dustin Logson's about 11.8. Adam Kilday 12.5. That sounds like 2 tires to me. Kevin Freeze 13.3. That could be 2. That could be 4. I see a couple 14, 15 second stops though. So I'm going to say on those ones, that's definitely 4 tires there. So I'm going to say Gabe Butler, Dean Wilkinson, Anthony English, Nick Wing, Eric Laurie. I'm going to say 4 tires for them. So we'll have to wait and see. And waiting for Jack Walls, Matt. Can he hustle this thing around? If he can hold the draft at least, this will still give him an opportunity here. So he's going to have to really get through the gears here. He's going to have a... we got a yellow. Oh, no. Big hit there. The 44 is up and over. Wow, what happened
that looked
there?
like the Tom Dixon could have got involved in that one.
Yeah, Tom was involved as well. We have to go back and see where this all occurred and who else possibly involved. Adam Kilday. His left front suspension is completely shot. Something strange happened there after that pit stop cycle. Let's go back here. And is it just maybe during the pit cycle? All right, let's focus on... We're going to focus on Adam here. Adam's right there in second at the time. All right, let's get a little wider shot here so we can get a better look at this initially. All right, he's right behind Dustin Logston here as they come out of 2. We did see there's some guys leaving pit road here. You got Kevin Freeze behind him. Did they maybe get off? Oh, no. I'm looking further ahead. Oh, this looks... Yeah, Matt. Unfortunately, we can already see what's about to happen here. We're going to take a wider shot there. And It's just unfortunate a mistake here where the 411's, I think, trying to merge. I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to get to the top immediately for the leaders and just should have stayed low there. Just again, I think just an honest mistake there, unfortunately for him. The 411 and the 85 get together, and then Anthony English tries to avoid it, just catches the right front to the left front and just barrel rolls the 44 up and over there. That's a tough break for some of those guys. And like I said, that was just unfortunately a situation of he was trying to get up to the top to get out of the way of the leaders, and the closing rate again with these cars at this track, the closing rate was just way too great. And unfortunately, just a bad situation there. But you can see Adam, he's taken his fast repair. He is back out on track. Leaders are back on pit road here. And this, Matt, though, is going to be right in that magical window of about 40 laps to go. So this might be the old Kevin Free's favorite part of racing. And then the wave around, I think, went to Andrew Schroeder, which puts him back to just one lap. Or sorry, actually, no, I'm sorry, back to the tail end of the lead lap. So put him back on the lead lap here, which will put us back to 14, which unfortunately for Bud Steele means he'll still be trapped 2 down.
What a crazy turn of events.
Yeah, this has been pretty wild. So once we go ahead, Matt, we'll take a quick break here. We'll return on the 1 to go. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back. All right, lights are off the pace car. We are 1 to go, and there's 2 cars that decided not to pit because I have a feeling, Matt, there might be some fuel strategery coming in here. And if I know fuel strategery, I know the biggest fan of fuel strategy, and that is Mr. Kevin Freeze. And Kevin, we're going to restart this thing with 41 to go. I was hearing about 20 laps on fuel.
It's a fuel mileage race.
Is this your favorite type of racing time?
I need, so we give everybody 12.1, and I need 12.1.
So this is going to be the race of who doesn't want to lead.
Yeah.
My favorite. I mean, your favorite.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess
it's going to be fun.
Sorry, Matt. I was going to say, so for the green flag pit stops there, I definitely saw some fuel only. You had a pretty quick stop. Was that 2 tires on your side, or were you able to squeeze off 4 there?
No, so I got contact in a 4X from
oh
Rick
yeah,
on the entry.
First off, the entry with Rick, that looks fun.
So I thought I had damage, so I turned my tires off so it would repair it, and then I didn't have damage, so I was kind of happy with that, but I didn't take any tires, so.
Well, no tires is always. I'll say no damage is always a good thing. So, and also, yeah, great
yeah.
save on that entry. We'll get you back to your guys though. Good luck, man.
Thank you.
All right, got to get him back before we get going green.
Yeah,
But yeah, we got to poke the bear on the fuel mileage.
Hey, we're going green.
Yeah, we're going back to greens. Jimmy Reynolds is going to be leading. Carl Lingle there in second. Neither of those drivers did top off, so that's why you only have 2 rows here up front. Everybody else single file. And you can see a couple drivers out the back there trying to get themselves lined up correctly. And unfortunately, again, these guys trying to be in the right spots here. It could cost these guys some drafts. So a little nervous. See Bud Steele, he's rolled all the way in the back. He's going to lose the draft completely, I'm afraid. It does look like I think Dean's going to be okay. Also, Jim Brooks, I wonder if did he miss another shift here because he's fallen way back to Gabe. And, oh, Gabe's just inside. So you saw Jim squeaking down to the bottom there. So, yeah, not sure if maybe a missed shift or what, but look at Andrew Schroeder. He gets his lap back, and he is on a mission right now. And it's going to be tough sledding here. I'm a little worried, though, Matt, for Anthony English. Oh, no, I'm sorry, not Anthony English. Who was that I was looking at further back there? Tom Dixon. Yeah, a little worried about Tom Dixon. And then, unfortunately, Bud Steele's definitely lost this draft. So, yeah, Matt, we'll see. Are we going to see some single file train action, or are we going to see these guys try to get to the front and maybe control this? Or do they wait till they get kind of their little calculators get the fuel mileage? They know at that point they're good to go, and then they drop the hammer. So it'll be interesting to see what the strategies are going to be here.
Well, I'm looking at Carl Lingo for the front, and I'm looking at Rick Sanchez. They said the heck with the fuel. We're going to have another yellow. That is exactly what they're thinking. Say, I ain't worried about fuel mileage. They're just going to go for it. No,
Yeah.
They thought about popping that in. Yeah, are they? Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
Never mind.
Well, I'm saying that might be one of those where they're just like, hey, we can't really quite clear them, so we're going to stay tucked up here. So right now, as I said, we always joke about the guy leading in the fuel mileage scenarios, possibly the sacrificial lamb. Right now, that is Jimmy Reynolds there in the Reynolds wrap car. And then, yeah, I'm starting to see everybody's trying to find somewhere to slot in here on the inside line. So I think we're about to see a train. And yet Jimmy said, you know what? I'd rather not lead because I don't want to burn all this fuel. So you know what this does, though, Matt, is we get to show off some of our drivers here. So we're going to run through the field.
Well,
And we're going to kick it off with our current now leader, which I got to double check on the paint schemes now. This is right because I'm showing a Walls Oil paint scheme on the car or on the picture. Flat black car on the actual car, so apologies, Jack, if we got the wrong one. But right now, Jack Walls is our race leader, up 7 spots from his qualifying position. Right behind him is one of those blind squirrels, and that is Carl Lingle. He is in the 30 car, is currently running. Oh, as I say that.
Oh, he saved it.
Oh,
Nice save.
Was that contact, or was that just him getting super loose? Let's go back here. We've got to watch that again, Matt, because that car, how is that car still pointing in the right direction? Watch on entry, and oh man, that just steps out from it. And watch the angle of this thing. I mean, he's kicking smoke out, and he saves that car.
What did I tell you?
Well done,
What did
Jack
I tell you?
Walls.
He's got the IndyCar experience, my friend.
And now he's got the draft, looks like still. He's going to catch back up to Jim. And Matt, I'm looking at lap times. Last lap, they were about 2 seconds slower than what they normally are able to do. So let's continue back through the field here. We're back to Carl Lingle now as our race leader. 10 spots gained. 1 spot behind him is that birthday paint scheme there for his wife. Rick Sanchez in the 2nd spot there, started 3rd. Behind him, Dean Wilkinson started 5th, currently running in 3rd. And then Dustin Logston, we've seen him lead some laps there. I saw the paint scheme in the Discord earlier in the week, and he's got it on track tonight with that Nerd Busters paint scheme. And I always love the play on words and the paint schemes, and these guys have a lot of fun with it. So well done there, Dustin. And then we just talked about him a moment ago. It said, I don't want to lead anymore. Let me to the back. And that is Dustin Logston, Jimmy Reynolds, I apologize, in the Reynolds wrap machine. Gabe Butler was peeking out for a second. He clears Andrew Schroeder. I'm going to get these names eventually right. He clears Anthony English because Anthony right now is 1 lap down. The first car 1 down as Gabe right now sits in 6th. Behind the 44 is now on the lead lap is Andrew Schroeder. Started in 17th, now up into the 7th position. And then you got Adam Kilday right behind him in that number 85. He is in 8th. Jack Walls was leading earlier, then saved that car amazingly. He currently sits in 9th, now about to be 8th because he wants to move forward, and he's going to get help from that 28 of Nick Wing right behind him. I think they say, we're not worried about fuel, let's just go for it. And we talk about our favorite fuel mileage driver. That is the 25. And he's not a stepbrother anymore, Matt. He is an anchorman in the number 25 of Kevin Freese. And right now, then you go. Actually, I got to go forward here because we got the 12 car. He has moved his way up to the top 10 there. I say he's got the Black Rifle Coffee Company there on the hood and side of that one. And then we're jumped back now down to Eric Laurie in the John Deere machine in the 13th spot. And then Jim Brooks rounding out our lead lap drivers in this main pack here in 14th. And then Matt, we're starting to get a lucky dog battle. Tom Dixon, he's just got ahead of Anthony English. So right now, Tom sits in that lucky dog spot. His competition right there on his inside, and that was Anthony English we were just talking about a moment ago in the 44. And then unfortunately 2 laps down, and unfortunately out of the draft as well, just with that whole kind of, I think everybody was trying to get themselves organized correctly on the restart, but still 2 down and a fair bit out of the draft. So those are the remaining 17 cars left in the field. We'll go back up front, Matt, because these guys have gotten back to 2x2 here, as we're going to have 33 to go at the line.
Jack Walls is not worried about fuel. I'm telling you what.
And I think Dean said
he is
I'm
going
go
for
back.
it.
Oh, just clears. He's going to drop to the inside. And this is also not a bad strategy, too, is now that you're further up, you can also save a little bit of fuel easier further up in the field. So we'll kind of keep an eye and see. Or there's also the potential, Matt, just try to keep the pace of the race up a little higher to try to hopefully make the other guys burn a little bit more fuel. And obviously, like you mentioned with the open wheel comparison, these cars, you don't really do the swap draft like we see with the IR18s, the DW12s. Here, well, you try to push. Obviously, again, these cars don't push very friendly anymore. But yeah, I mean, that's going to be the way to keep the pace up. However, I do think, though, again, I mean, you see the train, there's definitely some fuel mileage going on here at the moment. So, and then last time by, they were about a second slower than their typical laps. But as we talked about right now, you always have that kind of that sacrificial lamb. Right now, that's going to be Carl Lingle. But you know what, Matt? Since he is being that sacrificial lamb, we get to focus on him a little extra with that completely jacked blind squirrel on the hood and the side of that car. Don't steal that squirrel's nuts. It would not end well for you.
Yeah, I know, pretty much.
Good evening,
Ed.
Belva. Glad to have you here tonight. Yeah, let's jump back to Ed, though. Let's talk about him, because, again, this is his first race of the league.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say he's had a lot of racing experience in the OP series. I raced him quite well. Really, really nice guy. Really nice guy. And it's glad to see him here. They're doing not so bad. He's sitting here in P4 right now, enjoying it.
Yeah, saying that's the thing, is just kind of get familiar with things and learn some of the guys. Obviously, he, like you said, there's a lot of drivers from OP that run over here and vice versa. And say obviously all the love to the OP League, because they have some awesome racing and great guys over there too. And so I mean, Rick is one, Ed, obviously Kevin, Eric, and Gabe are part of Jimmy Reynolds, Dustin Loxton. So like and Andrew Schroeder as well. Like there's a lot of Anthony English. As I'm just looking down the list, I was like, oh, there's some more. Like there's a lot of crossover between the two leagues. Peter DeBorgia when he's able to run as well. Yeah, it's really cool to see kind of the cooperation between the two series, and just kind of seeing them both work together. And then some race over here, and then they bring others, like kind of they bring us over there, we bring them over here, and it's a lot of fun. I was saying it helps build that community a little bit more. And I was saying I just see one of your buddies just popped in the chat there, speaking of some of those OP drivers. And that is a Bubba Winningham, so it's always good to see Bubba here on the broadcast.
That is my boy, Bubba. What is going on, my friend? Hope everything is well for you, then, my friend.
And yeah, then yeah, exactly right. Say reminder, say we got a birthday in the YouTube chat. So once again, let's say shameless plug. We'll zoom right back in on that number 5 of Rick Sanchez with the birthday paint scheme there. And so Matt, so if Rick wins or gets a top 3, does he have to sing happy birthday to her on the broadcast?
No, I think probably Bubba will give him like a 50% discount on a new truck. I mean,
oh, that's right. Yeah, Chevyland, is that the one?
Yeah, Chevyland. Yep.
All right.
Come on, Bubba.
So I've seen the Chevyland a lot on the 5 car. I say again, and like talk about with Rick, just the selflessness. I mean, he supports all, like if there's something to support, he is on it. So big shout out to Rick too. He's such a good dude, and right now he is right on that rear bumper of that 30 car. Let's hop on the roof here of Rick and watch him as he's working on that. And man, I don't know if I'd want to be behind that 30 car. There's some questionable pictures on the back of that thing. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah. Oh man. Rick has some pretty wacky paint schemes as well. So it's yeah.
All right, well, you've worked out a hard bargain there. Say NetSpeed's on board for the car deal, so we'll have your people get in touch with Bubba's people, and Bubba will probably get in touch with you saying, hey, don't make offers that I didn't approve.
Come on, Bubba. Suck it up. By the way, Bubba, I'm doing great, my friend. And we're sitting here chilling. Watching Kevin Freese's favorite thing to do.
But
save fuel.
I don't know. Did Kevin maybe hit his number now, though? Because he's starting to push back forward here with him and Eric Laurie. So wondering if some of these guys are thinking, okay, we did the saving we need. Now we can push. Again, try to, get to the front to be pitting towards the very front of the field. But then also, like we talked about earlier, too, just try to bump the pace up a little bit, too. Because right now they're only running about half a second off of a lot of their fastest laps. And poor Eric Laurie there. Kevin was able to get to the bottom. Eric could not. So right now Eric's going to be a lonely driver up on the outside line. I see some help coming in a little bit. Well, nope, never mind. Dustin Loxton pops back in. And then also got to mention on the Lucky Dog battle, Anthony English is back leading that Lucky Dog fight in the 44 as Tom Dixon's a handful of cars behind him. As I say that, Andrew Schroeder caught the apron on entry mat, saved it. But again, that's definitely one of those moments that's going to catch your breath, but should be able to safely hold on to the draft as the field's just about to catch Bud Steele. Unfortunately, to put Bud a third lap down in that 6. And like I said, it's also a birthday for Bud, and so far this has not been the birthday he was hoping for. He was hoping for a good race here tonight, and I mean, again, there's still lots of time for this to happen, but he's going to need some luck to turn his way. And the problem is, Matt, also, there's 2 cars in front of him that are laps down, so it won't even straight go to him now at this point.
Yeah. Still plenty of time. Still plenty of time. Anything can happen, Kyle, as I said in plate racing.
Yeah, no, exactly right. And
these guys still have a pit stop to go.
And so, yeah, speaking of the pit stop, Matt, right now we're going to be at 24 to go here. So we're getting to that window, Ben, about four more laps, maybe in the window, 5 more laps. I feel like that's going to be a safe window. And that's going to be interesting, too, for maybe those that really aggressively are saving right now. If they could go to 19 to go, can they turn the wick up at the last portion of the race? And again, same thing, maybe try to force the hand of these other guys to have to run harder, try to run them out of fuel. And speaking of which, I believe it's Dean Wilkinson. I think Dean said, yep, I'm done riding. I'm going to try to push a little bit further forward. I don't want to pit mid-pack. I want to pit from the front half here. And here goes the 30 of Carl Lingle. He is on pit road. Seems early for Carl. He did pit. He did not top off, but again, that might be the leading all those laps. So now this is going to get interesting, because now it's going to be who doesn't want to lead. Right now, Rick's now at the point. Is he going to have to say, you know what, I got to back it down myself, or let somebody else take over? Because he did get burned at this track, I believe, once before, just being aggressive and not fuel saving. So we'll see if he's going to have to make an adjustment there in that 5 car.
It's kind of really, I'm sitting here looking toward the back of that train there. Let's see. Is there really a hole to slot in back there? Yeah, behind Nick Wing. Not really much.
Bud Steele's on pit road as well. For Bud, actually, he's going to bring Tom Dixon in with him. I say, again, for Bud, he was running by himself for so long. There was no fuel saving that he could even do there. And that said, he was able to make it to 22 to go. So, yeah, right now, though, like I said, I think you pretty much need to be able to go one more lap. If someone pits this time, I don't think they can make it unless they really save aggressively. In the same time, too, you got to make sure you got somebody to pit with. If you pit by yourself here, you're probably a sitting duck because you're going to have such a lap of no draft.
Here they come. Here they come.
Is it going to be everybody, or is it going to be just a couple?
Pretty much everybody. I think Kevin Freeze is going to stay out
by
himself. And Eric Laurie.
Oh, big shot there for the 17. I believe that was Jimmy Reynolds. He caught the inside wall a fair bit.
Oh, boy.
That car's got some heavy left side damage there. So, yeah, honestly, Matt, if they have the fuel, I'm really liking what Gabe, Eric, Kevin, Dustin, and Adam, I think these guys could be in the catbird seat here because, again, like they've got a really big group. As long as they don't sputter and don't lose any fuel here coming to pit road, I think these guys will have the fuel mileage to get there because everybody else got to go 21 laps. These guys only have to go the 20.
Wow. I just watched the Jimmy Reynolds there, the guy who hit the inside wall there. He had his fast spread. Did use this fast spread, but he took 4 tires.
I saw a big lock up there.
Boy.
We'll have to keep an eye on Kevin here.
He just got busted for speeding.
It looked a little hot. Yeah, so that's gonna pretty much be a full lap hold for Kevin. He's the same thing. He's gonna need a little bit of luck. And I saw Adam. He had to throw it in reverse a teeny bit there. So Adam's gonna have to hustle out of pit road as well. So now I'll have to watch the 88, the 81, the 071, and the 85. See if they all come out relatively close together. And right now, Adam's got a pretty good margin. I thought Adam was going to have the worst stop, but I think he actually did fuel only. So you can see now a lot of separation another time again here. So, and yeah, like I said, Kevin, unfortunately, he's still sitting there being held. Up front, though, it's now Rick that's got the point from help from the number 44 of Adam Kilday. Or I keep getting this wrong. 44 of Anthony English. I was thinking about Adam because he was leading. Apologies. Which, speaking of, let's go ahead and check on him and see where he is in relation. There is Adam. Where is Rick? They're back there. So if I'm Rick right here, Matt, I roll out of it once you get to these guys. Go by Gabe, go by Kevin. You have so much more speed than them. But then I think I just drop anchor here behind the top 2 and just start saving fuel. Again, you ran one more lap of fuel than these guys. This is where I think you save now. That way you can push later. So we'll see.
I think I would have done the complete opposite. I would have let Gabe Butler go by and use a draft out there. But it really...
Rick!
You know, you spun it!
Oh, caution's going to come out. We got multiple cars around. Yep, caution is out. Oh, Jack Walzer. Oh, Anthony English around there as well, just behind. More cars coming. Oh, a little bit of a hit there. I can't tell who that was that got a piece of him there at the end. Oh, it may have been Andrew Schroeder. And that car just stepped out from Rick. I was saying, yeah, it can catch anybody there. But so we'll go back here once more and take another look at this one. Because, yeah, Rick again, he had a huge head of steam. I'm not sure if it'll tell me. I want to see what his speed was going on the entry. Yeah, it won't show me on the replay, unfortunately. But, yeah, so we'll back it down here. And, again, there's no actually, I'm too far back. Let's go ahead and go through here back to the front stretch. So we'll speed it up a little bit here. Pretend like these are Indy cars going really fast. And now we'll jump back full speed. All right, I'll back it down. He jumps to the middle here on entry, and yeah, it just steps out on him right here. You can see it starts getting loose, and he's trying to catch it there. And unfortunately, he may have had a chance to catch it, but then Anthony English is so tucked up behind him. It looks like Jack Walls. Yeah, Jack Walls gets a little piece as well in the 83. And then unfortunately, look at Dean Wilkinson just able to sneak to the outside. They had it saved for a second, and then Jack, as bouncing off the apron, nothing he could do. He catches the 44, and then you see the 12, the 80, the 51. They stay all the way to the top. I think Eric Laurie gets through this as well. Oh, Carl Lingle so close as well. And then, yeah, that's where the 44 kind of caught the apron back up. But then we weren't done, Matt. We saw one more car, and I think, like we mentioned, I think that was Andrew Schroeder. And when you're in this draft, or you're in the turn here, Matt, you cannot see it. It's banked so hard. And so he's trying to figure out, where do I go? And he thinks he has it. All he sees right there is smoke. and just into the right front there. And oh no, he catches a little bit of Bud Steele there, and actually that sends Bud for a slide. And I think, Matt, Bud may have been the beneficiary of a lucky dog if not for that. So let me jump back live. We'll go and we'll watch here as the field's on pit road. Let's get our timing and scoring up. And actually, I think it wouldn't have mattered because I think it was going to be Tom Dixon who was going to get the wave. And so that's going to put Tom now back onto that lead lap in the 4:11 machine. And Matt, 3 drivers said, you know what? We got the fuel here. We're not worried about it. Adam Kilday, Gabe Butler, and Eric Laurie, they stay out, surprisingly to me. I'd think you'd want any little margin of fuel that you could, but they're going to opt to go ahead and stay out here. From Nick Wing on back, these guys all topping off with fuel. Looks like Dustin Logston took 4 tires and fuel, and then some of these other guys just getting some damage repairs and some of that stuff. So, again, still plenty of time to go. A few more things that will be coming up. We just got to wait and see how the remaining bit is going to go. So one more time, we'll step away for a quick moment. We'll be back on the one to go. Stay tuned. All right, lights are off of the pace car. We're down the backstretch here. And right now, once more, we have, I believe, 14 cars on the lead lap. Tom Dixon still on pit road, now rolling out. Anthony English is 1 lap down. Andrew Schroeder, I think, still getting repairs done to his 048 machine. And then Bud Steele still, unfortunately, sits 3 down. So just has not been the night for the 6 car. However, Matt, fuel mileage, no more question marks here. We're going to restart 15 to go. Everybody has fuel to get to the scheduled distance. However, let's throw a wrench into things. It's been a bit of a chaotic race at times. You might say green, white, checkered. Do they have fuel for one of those, 2 of those, or even possibly all 3?
Oh, please don't say that. Oh, man.
The thing, I mean, because, there's no, we don't know at this. This race has definitely been one of the bigger kind of just asterisks, if you will. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. It's definitely a bigger wild card than it typically is. You see Tom here, he's catching back up to the field here as we're getting back to green, waiting for that restart zone right there. You see those 2 white lines, and we are back underway here, Matt. 15 to go. Adam Kilday up on the outside line, Adam Kilday inside line, Gabe Butler outside line. And right now, Adam's just a nose ahead as they start to get through the gears. Nick Wing started to make an appearance as well, Matt. He's I don't think he's really shown his true hand yet. I think he's still got something in store in that number 28. I don't think he's really wanted to kind of show what he might truly have yet. But I say it's about time to start working that track position. Gabe's going to clear the 85. He gets to the inside line. Kevin Free's now going to be pushing the 28 of Nick Wing into 3. Oh, Nick Wing, I think, got a little too high. Kevin's going to slide that middle spot, so he's going to jump ahead of Nick. Can Nick slide back in? No, it's going to be the 30 there of Carl Engel. He's going to take that spot back. A little further back, looks like Tom Dixon lost the draft, unfortunately, so he's going to need some help to get back into this one. Still in the lead lap, though. And then also Anthony English, shout out to him. He's still trying to salvage on here, and that's without a hood on that car. So he's doing all he can. But right now we still do have 13 of our leaders in this main pack. So we'll see if that comes into fruition. And Bud Steele's still in the back there. And again, might be 3 laps down, Matt, but could play a big role in maybe helping one of his teammates potentially try to grab a win tonight.
Are you a betting man, Gael?
No, because I bet wrong too often, and the commentators curse, and there's too much things going against me on the betting side of things.
You know what? Oh, Jimmy Reynolds!
Oh, big hit for Jimmy. However, Matt, that car's still staying pointed in the right direction. We may stay green, but that car's suspension is completely destroyed. You can see the right front's not even spinning. This might stay green, but let's go back. Let's try to see what happened to Jimmy here as he comes down the front stretch. We'll see as he enters turn number 1. And I'm going to go out on a limb, Matt, say this car probably... Oh, caution's actually out, but let's go and let's watch what happened. And... does the car just step out from him? Yes, it does. Dean, too. Look at Dean. He was getting loose there as well. Dean had to jump all the way to the apron there. Oh, and that's actually what then bounced him back up. So Dean might have a little bit of damage as well. Big hit for the 17. But then we got to go see where the yellow came from. Oh, oh, no, Matt. I think the yellow is a separate situation here. I think Nick Wing was involved. Yeah, Nick's already going around here. Let's back it up a little further. Actually, something happened to Nick, so we're going to go way back here, guys. Apologies. Oh, there it is. Okay, so Nick Wing was to the outside of this. He reacts. Oh, man, actually, I'm glad he reacted because he was almost involved in that one. But then in that whole process, then I think he then trying to catch field, maybe also the same thing, maybe picking up too much speed here in the draft. I think he gets loose here in 3 and 4, so we'll watch here again. We'll bring it slowed down. And, I mean, that car hits hard on the entry, and yeah, I think that car just bottoms out, basically. And then same thing, catches the apron, and he's going to try to catch it, but again, these things at this point, it's kind of a bit of a ting slapper, Matt, and we'll see if he just goes around, or does he get any else involved. Right now, looking solo. We'll speed it up a little bit. Oh, my goodness. And that's something I've never seen before. Oh, my gosh. I've never seen a car literally flip just due to the banking transition. Let's find another. Because also, Matt, did you see the other cars coming up to him? I sped it up here. But then let me back it down one more time here, focus on the 28. It looks like everything's okay. And then all of a sudden, this is going to be a good shot here. Here comes Jim, here comes Dean, here comes Dustin Logston. Split the middle of them. And then let's jump back here, super zoomed in. Catches the apron, and that just bounces his car and literally flips it on its lid.
Wow.
But
that's nuts.
Lands on its wheels. And grabs the gear and is going to keep going, but
I have never
that's one
seen
of the
that
strangest
before.
flips I've ever seen.
I'm gonna have to post that in Discord server.
And also, you've got a certain Vicente Guerrero in the chat, checking in on you, seeing how you're doing. And I'm
pretty salty. How about that?
All right. Well, I'm going to grab that flipper. We're going to have a chat with him because, again, that's one of the crazier things we've ever seen. So we're going to pull that old 28 car in over here. Nick, have you ever had a car flip on you just from catching the apron or the banking to the apron like that before?
Nope.
Yeah, that was quite the odd one. As they were watching, it's like, I think that car, I was like, wait, that car flipped. And so we went back and watched, and it's like, that flipped from you just catching the banking transition. And I think that kind of just shows how kind of the combo of this car and track right now are not getting along very well, it seems like is the nice way to put it.
No, because if you don't watch it, you're gonna end up getting loose, and that's the first time this race I got loose that bad.
Do you think it was just you had maybe more draft, more speed than you have had normally, just because you're trying to catch back up to the pack? Which also, great job avoiding that wreck there. I mean, we saw you jump to the top, and I think if you didn't do that, you were going to get hooked pretty hard on the left rear there.
It possibly could, but it's hard to say.
All right, well, we'll let you get back to it, sir. Glad you're back on your wheels, and let's just go get it here in the final remaining 10 or so.
Yep.
All right, so we grabbed Nick Wing there just for a quick chat with him. We are back to the 1 to go. And again, strategy-wise, pretty much everybody stayed out. The few that did pit under that yellow were Dean Wilkinson, the 55. Probably some damage repairs for him. Same thing, yeah, Dustin Logston also had some damage repairs, about 25, 27-second repairs for those two. Otherwise, and then Nick Wing, of course, obviously for good reason. And then I believe, yeah, Anthony English back on the lead lap. Might be missing a hood, but he is not going to give up. So he is now 14th and on the lead lap. Bud Steele, unfortunately, still 3 down. But I'm sorry, but it's not been a good one for you. But I mean, that's racing. There's going to be some tough nights. So never want it to be on your birthday, though. However, Matt, we're going to restart this thing single digits. Fuel again, no question marks. We know everybody can make it. We don't know how far they can make it, potentially extra or not. So yeah, we're going to see what happens here. We've got a car without a hood back on the lead lap. We've seen Eric Laurie get a podium without a front clip of the car. Crazier things have happened. I mean, we just saw a car flip over just from the banking and flat transition. So we'll see what we got here, Matt. It's 10 to go here, 9 at the line. Gabe Butler, Adam Kilday leading field back to green.
How hard are these guys willing to push it, knowing that?
Oh, Jack's got your answer.
Yeah, I'm just gonna shut up.
They're willing to get very loose and almost die.
Oh, I'm afraid to say anything.
No, right now it's been a challenging one tonight. Like I said, I mean, these guys are having to work for it, and right now I was about to say you almost had 3 of the Boondockers all lined up together, but now you've got 2 of the very talented guys of Adam Kilday and Rick Sanchez now lined up nose to tail. So I think that's going to be it right here. Is you're going to have the 2 teammates up against the 3 teammates. The question is going to be who's going to be someone that's going to even out the numbers for that for that 2-car tandem. But right now you saw again, I almost remember that it might be the outside line might be the slightly more difficult lane here. Just based on right there, the 5 and the 85 looked fairly unsettled.
Yeah, it's like I said, these guys don't have to. A little bit risk versus reward. Push or not to push? That is the question.
Yeah, well, I mean, and even then, it's the push that's a concern. It's the entry to turn 1 and turn 3 that's been a concern. I mean, there's a lot that these guys have on their plates right now that they're having to figure out what do we do to make sure we get this thing to the end. Oh my goodness, Adam Kilday. It was very zoomed out, so it was hard to see, but
ooh, Eric Laurie, come on, buddy.
Yeah, these cars are a handful right now. And remember, we were talking about teammates maybe trying to help out their other teammates. But Steele's 3 down. He's doing all he can right now to try to help Nick Wing stay in the draft. I think Nick's maybe got some lingering damage still from his flip. It wasn't a terrible flip, but usually cars going up and over, it's going to affect the speed. So right now we've got about an 11-car lead pack here that are going to be vying for the win here.
I kind of learned from these guys a little bit. I really, really, really think that probably sticking the front nose as close to the rear bumper as possible, out hitting. I think that might be the fastest route, but
safest route for sure.
Well, yeah, you're right there too, but
and I mean, a lot of these guys had to learn that, Matt, too, already, because prior to the updates, the Gen 4 Arca car, if you pushed, you just lifted the rear end of the car literally off the ground and you'd spin them out. So on those cars you had to learn how to stay as tight as you could without actually pushing. And so, yeah, I think some of that talent and skill probably then rolled over into these cars. But, Matt, I'll say when we're under green here, these laps are clicking quick. We're down to 5 to go here. And oh, no, there it is.
That's yellow.
Oh, that's a huge hit for Dean Wilkinson. I think got through there. But Jack Wall's involved. Eric Laurie was involved. Who else is in there? Oh, the 12 of Ed is in that one. Not too bad, I don't think, Fred. Oh, Dustin Logston, that car's, yeah, right front, not moving. And it's the same thing, Matt. Just turn one, the car gets away from you. You try to catch it, but it's just unfortunate. It doesn't quite pan out. So we'll back it down here one more time. We'll focus on Eric, and it's just everything looks good, and then the car just steps out on you, and you'll see right here he's good, and then there goes, it starts breaking loose. And then nothing he can do here. He catches the apron. That's going to wash him right up into into Jack. And that's going to catch Ed there. You're going to see then the 81. Dean Wilkinson's going to get a little piece of it as well. So right there, 5 of the cars, they're all caught up in it. And so unfortunately, a lot of those guys are hopefully have a fast repair. Otherwise, they're going to have damage repairs need to be done. Nick Wing, he got into pretty hard as well. So Nick's gonna, same thing, if Nick has a fast repair, he's definitely gonna need it there as well. So let's jump back live here. Leader's waiting on the pace car. Nick Wing's already on pit road, and we'll see if he's got a fast repair. Is that car gonna look all better? Oh, all better. Fast repair saves the day for Nick Wing. Jack Walls is trying to limp that car back to pit road. Hopefully same thing, a fast repair for him. And yeah, Vince, these things are a handful, to put it nicely. And I think Dustin Logston may have just retired, unfortunately. We'll watch Jack here, see if he's going to have anything. Jimmy Reynolds, that car's missing its right front. Do we have a magical fast repair, Matt? Let's see. He's got to get back to his pit stall. Same, these cars they don't turn. Nope, no fast repair. That car is going to need some serious damage repairs.
Oh, boy.
However, on pit road, some of those guys were involved. Dean Wilkinson, he is going to come in. He's got some nose damage. We saw Ed DeBoer. Actually, look at the right front of that car, Matt. That car's toe is not pointing the right direction. So no, he's turning left to go straight right now in the 12. Eric Laurie, some damage. Anthony English. And it's taken 70 laps, Matt?
Yeah.
Bud Steele's got a lap back. Unfortunately, it's only to 2 down, though. So Bud's going to be rooting for 3 green-white checkers here, Matt, because that would actually put him on the lead lap for the last green-white checkered, potentially.
Oh, boy.
Yep. So we'll have to wait and see.
You said the most evilest words.
I think we've had all 3, maybe a couple times. I'm going to say it's less than 5 that we've ever had to hit all 3.
It's been a while.
It's definitely been
that way.
And that's, again, and I think that goes to tell you how difficult this combo has been at this car and track combo. And the thing that I know is going to happen here is the admins are going to say, okay, what do we need to do to make this car do what it needs to do in the future races? So, because after this, we basically still have to go to Atlanta, we still have to go to Talladega, and then back to Daytona before we come here again. So there's probably roughly about a month or so before we come back to this track. So I would suspect that these guys will try to work some magic to get this thing to drive a little better before next time around.
Yeah, I'm sure the admins will have a grip on things and know the situations, and they'll take their time and hopefully we'll get it fixed.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying we've seen the setups adjustments out. I know Gabe has put his hand in it, and saying that's what's cool too is it's not that they're trying to make a fast setup; they're trying to make a setup that races well, and they've always been so good at it. So, big thank you to Gabe and all the admins for all the legwork that they do for these things. So, Matt, this will be green-white checkered attempt number 1. It will be Gabe Butler and Kevin Freeze on the front row. So really, actually, front 2 rows here, you got teammates inside, outside. So we'll have to see how they get organized here. can they do something to get themselves lined up with one another, or will it be kind of the teams pushing the other team? So it'll be fun to see. Row 3, you've got Carl Engel there on the inside, Jim Brooks to his outside, Dean Wilkinson, Nick Wing behind him. Again, Nick pitted with the close pits, so he's going to probably either be tailing the longest line or might just have to be about where he is. Eric Laurie got some damage repairs to his car. Front end's not too bad. Rear end's still a little crinkled, but he should be, I think he'll be able to hold the draft pretty well. The 12 is coming back out. Same thing, a little bit of nose damage, but they're about half a lap back, so they're going to have to really hustle to catch the field. Same for Anthony English. They did find the hood, though, I have to say, so that's a good news for Anthony. They did find the hood somewhere on track and were able to kind of pound it back on the car. So yeah, Matt, we got attempt number 1. Cars that are clean, I'm going to say probably about 7 or 8 that I feel like don't have significant damage to affect them. We know Nick Wing just got a fast repair. Dean's car looks pretty clean. I think Eric will be okay too. So yeah, I think 8 to 9 cars. Not feeling too confident about Ed or Anthony there, especially that center punch nose for the 12. So, but again, we've seen crazier things. So, all right, Matt, attempt number 1. If they can get to the white flag, from then on, it will be an official race. However, if a caution comes out before the one to go, they will rack it up to 2 more times. And everybody's getting lined up here as we're about to get underway. All right, Matt, green flag is out. Green white checkered attempt at number 1, 2 to go here. White flag will be at the line next time by. Right now, Gabe and Kevin front row here. Can they keep the other guys behind them, or will Adam and Rick find a way to get hooked up and see if they can sneak around? Or do we see Carl Lingle make a move? Can he team up with Jim Brooks or Dean Wilkinson? There's going to be a lot of options here. You see Dean working to the outside here. That's going to help that outside line a little bit. Jim's going to peek to the bottom. Nick Wing's on his way. We'll see how it goes here, Matt. They still got to get to 3 and 4.
I don't want to say anything. I'm afraid to say something. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy and not jinx a thing.
Right now, Gabe had the lead, but out of 4, big push by Adam Kilday. That's got Kevin here a nose ahead. If that was a finish, that would be Kevin Freeze with the win. But Matt, white flag is out. We are here 1 to go at iRacing Superspeedway. So there you go. We didn't have to hit all 3. Fuel's not an issue for these guys. Now it's just, can these cars keep the handle under control here for this remaining half a lap?
Dean was looking 3 wide. I was kind of looking for Carl to go 3 wide, but no one's going to help.
Them, yeah.
Nope.
All right, so now the question mark is, can anybody do anything here through 3 and 4 for the final time? Can a move be made? Oh, a little bit of contact. Oh, Rick's going to try to
He saves it.
Oh, what a save by Rick. That's going to... a little bit of contact with him and Jim. But at the line, it looks like it will be... Oh, did Adam get it? Or did Kevin... I say it happened so fast there.
By 9 1/1000ths of a second.
Oh my goodness. Let's go back one more time. We'll watch this finish here because there was so much going on there. We saw Jim and Rick have some contact there. And then now we'll back it down here. We're going to focus on Kevin. Look at that move by Adam. He gets a great push by Dean here. And then we're going to try to see if we can kill it right at the line. And yeah, so there you go. Kevin by just a nose over Adam. Gabe there in 3rd. And then Dean, I think, yeah, Dean just squeaks ahead of Carl Engel. And then Nick Wing is going to come home 6th. Rick Sanchez, I'll say after the contact, will bring it home 7th in front of Jim Brooks in 8th. Honestly, though, I think these guys should just be happy they survived this thing today. And then a good fight here for 9th as well, 9th and 10th here. Anthony English just noses ahead of that 12. And Eric Laurie said that car, unfortunately, just didn't have what it needed there. He will bring it home in 12th. Let's jump back live, though, because we got some burnouts happening from that number 25 of our race winner, Kevin Freeze. Oh, I don't know if that car's going to pass post-race tech anymore, Matt.
I know all about that.
He Chad Knaused it.
Oh, he blew it up.
Or
hit the wall.
Yeah, oh yeah, he caught it with the left rear there. He cracked the rear like Chad would have told him to. But before we give him a hard time about that, Matt, let's go and pull up our final results for tonight's event, as it will be Kevin Freeze, like I said, 9 thousandths over Adam Kilday as a runner-up. Gabe Butler there in third. Dean Wilkinson, Carl Lingle are top 5. And then Nick Wing got that fast pair, able to recover up into 6th. And then unfortunately, Rick Sanchez loose out of 4. That drops him to 7th. Jim Brooks had some contact with him, but still stayed straight, finished in 8th. Anthony English and Ed DeBoer there finished in 9th and 10th. Eric Laurie, the last of our lead lappers, in 11th. And then poor Bud Steele, like I said, just could not recover from the early issues. Stayed on track though, toughed it out. Big props to Bud there for not quitting. Through I'm sure a very frustrating race there. He still brings it home 12th. Jack Walls 13th. Then you got Dustin Logston, Tom Dixon, Jimmy Reynolds, Andrew Schroeder, and Bob Fitzgerald there through 18th. And then unfortunately an early retirement in 19th position for Austin Call. So that is our running field for tonight, Matt. We got to find some drivers to chat with, and that is going to be none other kicking off than our very familiar interviewee, and that is going to be a Mr. Gabe Butler. Let's go ahead and grab Gabe on over here and have a chat with him. And Gabe, obviously a challenging one tonight. But for me, the question mark is the final restart. You and Kevin wind up side by side. Do you try to find a way to get you guys hooked up together to kind of go nose to tail, or did you feel like the best bet for one of you two getting the win is to stay side by side and just kind of see who got the better push, or is it just honestly just see how the restart unfolded there?
Well, after the restart, I figured the way we were lined up and how close our pushers were, I said, I'll just stay in the bottom because, I mean, Rick's a hell of a pusher. And, I mean, so is Adam. But, I mean, we were neck and neck. And then coming out of 4 there, Rick just got a little loose for no reason and kind of got tapped by Carl. Not his fault, but and then, you know, that lost it for us. But I still think the second lane would have probably got us anyway. They were getting a good run off that high side, but the car was just too unstable to make a sharp move up to the front, up to the high side in front of Kevin if I did get clear. So I probably wasn't going to do it anyway. But all things considered, P3, I mean, I'll take it.
Yeah, obviously a lot going on over the course of the night. I think you were one of the few that kept that car pretty clean, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, like I said, definitely a handful. And something Matt and I were chiming in on was, say we've seen you guys work your magic to say when you guys do the setups, you guys aren't looking for kind of top split pace setups. You're looking for things that race well, drive well. I mean, is that something that you and Kevin, the admins, are going to say, okay, we're going to see if we can make some magic happen? Or is that just with this new build, that's just what these cars do here now?
Well, I've got a setup. Kevin just forgot to put it in, but the big thing here is the track has got to be super cool, like it was tonight, because the setup that I built, it's fast, but it's more stable. It doesn't spin out as easily. But I mean, even if the track temp goes up 5 degrees, you just can't control it. It's kind of a very strange setup iRacing has here for this particular car. But Kevin has the set, and he's going to mess with it tomorrow to see if he can tune it a little bit more. So next time we're here, I think we should be okay.
I might give him a little bit of crap. We'll see. But either way, though, Gabe, like I said, I mean, you did a hell of a job just to try to keep that thing. I said, I mean, I think you were one of the few that kept it, I want to say, out of trouble all night long. So well done there, or maybe minimal trouble. If maybe that's about the best we could hope for. But yeah, just great job tonight. Getting I believe another, 2 top 5s so far to kick off the season here. So great way for you to kick it off. Definitely want to give you the floor though for any thanks and shouts for that podium tonight.
Just a big shout out to all the guys that came out and tried to raise this set tonight. I know it was very difficult, but like I said, hopefully we'll have it corrected by the next time we get here. Of course, yourself, Gael, and Matt up in the booth at Green White Checker TV. It's always a blast going back and watching these races. And of course, Area 51 for hosting this league. It's been a blast for a number of years, and it continues to be so. And looking forward to next week.
Sounds good. And saying all safe on the hurricane side. I forgot to ask you about that earlier.
Yeah, we're good. Helene did quite a bit more. When I say damage, like give us a lot more debris, but this one we got really lucky. So yeah, we're all good.
Nah, I'm glad to hear it, man. I know there's a handful of you guys out in Florida, and luckily you and Eric look like haven't been hit too hard, and some of our guys no power or no internet, but so
Right.
far, best case scenario, yeah. So glad you guys are doing well, and yeah, look forward to seeing you on track again here soon, sir.
All right, guys, appreciate it.
All right, we're gonna jump one spot further forward. That is gonna be Mr. Adam Kilday. Adam, I'll say you and Rick there were kind of between a rock and a hard place because you had both the boot knockers in front of you. And was there any kind of talk about, okay, we got to try to figure out a way to do something to line up together, or is it just let's just push, both of us push like hell, maybe one of us can clear and then go for it, or what was the thought there at the end?
I honestly don't really know. Before that caution, I had Sanchez in front of me, so I was just going to try to stick with him and push it as hard as I could to the end. But something happened behind us, and yellow came out. But no, it seemed like on the second lane, it just on entry, I was just scrubbing off a lot of speed. I wasn't really entering as good, being the second car back, so probably gave the outside a less of a chance on surging forward on exit. Um, but no, coming to the last green white, it was kind of in the same scenario. I had Kevin in front of me and was just trying to, in the end, like maybe do my best to even try to get a double clear, but all the pushes were just too darn good to where that would have been impossible. But coming out of four, I saw Dean popping up, and I was trying to build a run up off Kevin and then jump up in front of Dean, but I didn't really get the run I wanted, so I just said screw it. I just went ahead and hopped up third lane, and uh Dean was lucky enough to give me a shot there to hopefully pull out in front of Kevin right before the line, but we were just a hair too short, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was a really good charge at the end. We were watching, and you're right. I mean, if that start finish line's a little further back, it's a whole different story. But I mean, same
Yeah.
thing. You've had a really good start to the season as well. I say double checking. I want to say, looking at the results here.
Thursdays hasn't been.
Oh yeah, so yeah, sorry.
Uh,
Daytona's
yeah.
opener wasn't great for you, but yeah, but on the Sunday side though. So I mean, overall though, I mean a second here, and then you've had some really good Sunday results as well. So I say overall though, still a pretty good start to the season for you.
Yeah, it's I don't think the start of last Thursday season, God, I don't think I finished in the top 10 on the first four starts, and I kind of needed a break from the sim anyways, so I decided to take that season off and take Thursday nights off on the sim, um, which worked out. So hoping to come back this season and salvage something out of it. And yeah, just all in all, uh, have fun with the boys and stuff. And yeah,
What fun.
uh, entertainment, iRacing, super speedway race and stuff. Yeah.
I was saying, I don't know if you have anything to say too, as I noticed that you were getting a little bullied there post race by Anthony English. So just want to make sure
Oof.
everything's okay there as well.
Ah,
Yeah, he's my
don't
teammate
worry.
on
Don't worry.
Monday.
I'll handle it.
You won't do nothing.
I'll handle it. You won't see nothing.
Yeah. Oh boy. No, we're cool. So we
Oh, I
always
know. I
really
figured he was just giving you a hard time, but yeah, I figured I'd cause a little bit of drama there. But no, I mean, great job tonight. Though, like I said, obviously a very very difficult one this evening, but you stuck it out and you're able to get that runner up tonight and highest climber as well, 17 spots gained. So no bonus points or anything like that, but bragging rights at least. But yeah, hell of a job though tonight, Adam, and definitely want to give you the floor though for any thanks and shouts for that runner up this evening.
Yeah, we'll do the same old shout out to the uh, Thursday League and people that put on Area 51 and stuff. Shout out to the Green White Checkered TV on YouTube and you, Gael, and Matt Wagner for doing the commentary and all that stuff. That's super cool, you guys. And everyone in Discord I ran with, shout out to you guys for keeping entertainment throughout the race and stuff. And yeah, dude. Yeah, that should about do it.
All right, man. Well, great job tonight. Looking forward to seeing more of you over the course of the season, sir.
I appreciate it.
See you, Adam.
Later.
All right, we got one left to chat with. And Matt, we cannot ask him to say anything about San Diego because our stream will get shut down. And that is going to be the driver of the 25, Kevin Freeze. And Kevin, I talked to Gabe, and let's say, obviously, it's fun when you guys are lined up nose to tail on restarts. You guys are lined up door to door. You got teammates door to door behind you. I mean, is that something you're like, all right, this is going to get interesting, or is it just well, let's see what we can make happen here hopefully between the two of us?
Oh, those are the fun ones where you can just battle it out because you're gonna have a clean finish. It really sucked. It was weird netcode with I don't know if it was netcode or what it was with Rick there in turn 4 because that was gonna be a absolute drag race to the end there. So it was a ton of fun, and I mean it would have been nice if I could have stayed lined up there with Gabe and just kept pushing him because I figured out like where how his car would react to the pushing and where I could get away with, but it's nice to get one there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a very challenging one tonight. I say you got a little thrown under the bus there. We figured out the setup issues, but we won't point fingers.
Yep. Oh no, you can
No.
you can fully tell people.
Oh, I'm
yeah,
just kidding.
there
But
was a lot going on this week,
but I
and
think
I
that
forgot to
yeah, but I think
change
that
it. But we're gonna put that one in, and then I'm gonna run a whole bunch of laps tomorrow, try and just make sure it's okay for everybody, and hopefully the car reacts the way we think it will. It's just it's different with the way the pushing is, and they changed a lot with the suspension on what you're allowed to do, and it puts you into a pretty tight box with setup, which is pretty unfortunate.
yeah, I mean, I think that also though tells a lot too is that something Matt and I talked about is I mean, you guys will go out of your way to make sure that you have setups that race well. It's not like okay, we want the top split, low drag, whatever cars that can go the fastest, but you're holding on for dear life. Like you guys have done a really
Yeah.
good job, and there's a reason why the racing is good with good green flag racing is it's not just the drivers. I mean, you guys do a great part too. Don't get me wrong, but you guys build setups that are really nice to drive and are kind of maybe forgiving isn't the right word, but yeah, it's pretty solid and. Yeah, so it's really cool what you guys do with the series and everything like that. And I'd say, I mean, again, like I said, tonight wasn't what you wanted, but I don't know. It's kind
Yeah.
of to me, it's also a feather in your cap. Where it's like, hey, look at what we do. We make the racing this much better when we build a setup that's better than the default one from a giant league or
Yeah.
a giant company.
But I think, yeah, and I think also the drivers tonight did a really good job of figuring it out as the race went on. Obviously, there were a couple of incidents with the setup, but I mean, the way that race started, that was going to be a little bit of a rough time, and I think it went a lot better than we thought it would, um, especially just the way things were forming out. So, shout out to those drivers for figuring out what the car needed. A lot of it was the Xfinity car just transfers weight so much that they have to be smooth with their transition because you have to lift a little bit when you're not the leader going into the corner. But if you use it like a light switch all the way out, it just throws the weight all over the place, and that's what we think it is. Is this setup had a cross weight issue because the tires are also wearing completely really weird. So, but a huge shout out to them for figuring it out, having a nice clean battle there. Got some green flag pit stops in. So yeah, overall, pretty good race, and hopefully we can get even better when the right setup is put in.
Yeah, no, I mean, and again, like you said, yeah, and Matt and I were noticing the same thing. You guys, everybody did a really good job of adjusting to it. And then yeah, I mean, every time it got better and better, and then obviously then stuff's gonna happen once it gets go time and everything like that. So, but either way, like I said, just a hell of a job by all of you guys, and put on a really good show at the end, and it was a lot of fun to see. And I say with timing's perfect, so we get to watch you do some burnouts here in the front stretch. And but yeah, Kevin, before we let you go and cause some trouble on TV and on the air. Like I said, don't say anything about San Diego. Definitely want to give you the floor for any thanks, shouts for that win tonight.
Yeah, thank you to you guys for putting on the broadcast for us. It started out like you were probably going to have a pretty good long night, but again, thank you to the drivers for doing their thing. Shout out to all the drivers who came out tonight. Thank you to them for continuing to support, and thanks to the other admin for their assistance, and thanks Gabe, Adam, Andrew, Anthony, and Rick. It really sucked for that Rick finish. Wish he got the finish he deserved. But yeah, thank you again, and I hope everybody enjoys the night.
All right, man. Great job tonight. Look forward to seeing you again soon, sir.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you.
All right, Matt. That is our race winner in that number 25 of Kevin Freeze. And so yeah, so that's gonna do it for us this evening. I'll say it was again not quite what we're hoping for, but I mean at the same time, again, this is a very challenging setup and combo, and I mean, and he, like I said, he said it straight up, was like that wasn't the setup that we were supposed to have, and again, to me, that speaks volumes about the hard work that these guys put in behind the scenes too, because if you drove before this track, you would have thought nothing of it. And it's like, oh wow, they made that big of a difference with putting the time and effort to get a setup that can handle this track and not do what it did tonight. So I don't know. To me, that's a big props to the admins and the setup guys that spend all the time and effort on this.
Like I said, these guys, as Kevin said, you heard in the interview, it took a while for the guys to adapt, and these guys adapted very well. And I applaud them for that. All the drivers. Like I said, it's probably not an easy task. You know, like I said, I wasn't out there on the field, so I really couldn't tell you. So we had to hear from the driver's mouth. So Kevin, kudos to you, my friend. That's a big W. It shows, like I said, these guys are going to fix the problem. It's not going to be an ongoing problem. Yeah, like I said, it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, and mistakes happen. I've definitely done my fair share of them too. So it's, I mean,
Oh yeah.
we're human.
Oh
We're
yeah.
gonna do that. So, but yeah, so definitely again appreciate you all watching and supporting us here on Green White Checker TV. Happy Friday Eve. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend coming up. And again, big happy birthday to Bud Steele. Again, tough night for him. Big happy birthday to Netsby as well, Mr. Rick Sanchez's wife, and also a happy upcoming anniversary to those two as well. And like I said, Matt, I got to go back and find the number because it was way bigger than I would have expected. 41st anniversary for those two. So big congrats
Whoa.
on putting up with each other for 41 years. That's probably more credit to her than to him, but you know,
Yeah.
that's how it goes. But no, all seriousness, those congrats to you guys. That's awesome, and I hope you guys are able to enjoy it and celebrate. And yeah, so that'll do it for us here tonight. Matt, as always, appreciate you doing all the hard work. I said the dedication, coming in straight from work and hopping in here. So big thank you to you, sir. Like I said, I know you've got a lot going on, but you still make time for us, and I appreciate that.
No, you're welcome, sir.
And Boomer, he'll be back soon. He's still got to fix that BMW's turn signal, so he'll get there eventually. But that'll be it for us tonight. We'll be back on Sunday night, back with the Gen 4s. So definitely stay tuned for that. Those are a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing. We'll see if I'm in the booth. We'll see if otherwise maybe Boomer's covering. I'm not sure. But either way, it'll be covered here on Green White Checker TV. So until then, as always, take care, stay safe, have a good night. See you all on Sunday.